In Paris in the 50s and 60s, movie lovers sat in cafes like these and rethought cinema. They felt at the centre of the movie world, but they weren't. Filmmaking went global in the 60s. For the first time, its energy was exhilarating. To tell its story, we have to travel around the world. Let's start here, in Eastern Europe, behind the Berlin Wall. Movie makers here had far more about which to be defiant than their Parisian colleagues. In Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and the Soviet Union, directors bravely made modern, personal films that drove the medium forward and stood up to their governments. As a result, some of the movie makers were stopped in their tracks or imprisoned, and many of the films were banned. The story starts in Poland. Take this scene in Andrzej Wajda's Ashes and Diamonds. A young man and a woman flirt.
Czy na dnie popiołu zostanie gwiaździsty diament wiekuistego zwycięstwa zarania.
It's the first day of peace after World War II. Poland has been torn apart. The man, Maciek, has been in the Warsaw Uprising against the Nazis. But now the communists are coming and he hates them too. He wears dark glasses, not like James Dean because they're cool, but because he spent ages underground in the sewers of Warsaw. He's a rebel with a cause.
Muszę ci coś powiedzieć.
Nic smutnego?
Nie.
Like the great British film, The Third Man, partially set in sewers, Ashes and Diamonds is Wellesian, expressionist, full of symbols of the world turned upside down. Andrzej Wajda's films are distinctive because, in a very Polish way, he disguises meaning by encoding it in symbols.
Chciałem zmienić pewne rzeczy, inaczej urządzić życie.
Wajda was a shrinking violet compared to this Polish director, Roman Polanski, who became one of the most famous filmmakers in the world. He cuts fast to the jazzy double bass strumming. He played a small part in his short film, Two Men in a Wardrobe, fresh-faced, cocky, beating up on a decent guy. Polanski was Jewish. During the war, he saw Poles defecate on German soldiers. His mother was murdered in Auschwitz-Birkenau. As a child, he loved not colour films or escapist musicals, but this British film, Laurence Olivier's Hamlet. He loved the way the camera tracked through the mysterious spaces of the castle and its claustrophobia. Castles would recur in his own work.
Czy pan pokład?
Polanski's first feature film, Knife in the Water, is one of the most claustrophobic ever made. We're on a small boat. On the right is a husband who owns the boat. Swimming in the distance is his wife, very deep focus photography. On the left is a student they've invited onto their boat. The wife fancies the student, a love triangle. The husband's arm literally forms a triangle. The husband resents the student. The student knows this and plays power games. The humiliation of getting too close. Unlike most Polish films of the time, Knife in the Water didn't deal with war, a sign that society and history would be less interesting for Polanski than, in this case, the human triangle.
Mam panu pomóc?
Knife in the Water was called art for art's sake, the very definition of modernism, and was condemned by the authorities because it wasn't social enough. And so Polanski left social realist Poland and took his modernism with him. In 1967, Polanski released this gorgeous spoof horror movie, one of his best films. As you can see, it's set in a winter wonderland, shot in a studio, again cut off from society. A beautiful widescreen vision of Jewish Middle Europe, like a Marc Chagall painting. Polanski here plays a dopey apprentice. Opposite him, his producer cast a beautiful young actress, Sharon Tate. She and Polanski took LSD together, fell in love and conceived a child. They set up home in Hollywood. Polanski's dream would soon end. His wife, unborn child and friends were murdered by the Manson family.